And the question that she gets asked is, why don't people with mental illness just take the meds, get off drugs and alcohol, do what they're told, and put Adam H out of business and give police officers something better to do than chasing our asses around? Why can't people with mental illness just do what they're supposed to do and just get better? Did I paraphrase correctly?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. Now everybody heard the question? All right, here is the answer to that question. Wow. Like, isn't that like so messed up? Like it's our fault. We're sick and it's still our fault. Adam H gets funding to help us and it's still our fault. Doctors are hired to make us better, still our fault. Insurance companies are supposed to pay to give us treatment, my bad. Like no matter what happens in the world, the sick person with mental illness is to blame for all of it. Wow. I'm so glad that people are taking responsibility on my behalf so that I can be well. Here's the reality. If you are having a financial problem and you come to me or any financial planner, I'm not a financial planner, you go to a financial planner and you say, listen, I am having money problems. And you give the financial planner $100 to help you solve your money problems, and he takes the $100, puts it in his pocket, and says, here's the solution. Make more money. Y'all good with that? Do you all feel that you got your $100 worth? I mean, that is the correct answer. Can anybody put a hole in that? You're having a financial problem. Well, making more money solve that financial problem. Yeah, well, my advice is spot on. So just stay on your medication. Stop doing drugs and alcohol. It seems like a solution. In the same way that make more money resolves all financial problems. It's not helpful. But what it really does is it creates this almost caste system of the person who is sick is to blame for their own outcomes. And there's zero responsibility on anybody else. Well, what do we have doctors and therapists and case managers for if they can't be held accountable for what happens to us? Like that's like really messed up. Don't they have like any accountability in what happens to us? If we're not doing well, if we're not stable on our medication, if we're not improving, why is that our fault? Well, what about the people who are charged with our care? Have they done anything wrong? We have this system in mental health where if I get sicker, it's my fault. But if I do well, it's everybody else's credit. The best that I can ever hope for is I got my shit together. There's no cancer survivor equivalent. There's no beat mental illness party. There's no celebration when I get well. It's just, hey, Gabe caused us a lot of problems. Now he doesn't. That's it. And then people say, thank God for his psychiatrist. Oh, thank God for Adam H. Thank God for the charity. Well, what about me? Yeah, you got your shit together. You're supposed to do that the whole time. What, you want a cookie? I mean, kinda. Yeah, I want a cookie. It was hard. I was sick. The next thing that we have to think about is, let's just unpack that statement. Why don't people on mental illness just take their medication? If they were med compliant, they would be fine. See, it sounds right in your head, right? If they were just med compliant, they'd be fine. All right, so any meds? So if I can grab a psychiatrist right now and have that psychiatrist prescribe every mental illness person in the world 1 M&M in the morning and 1 M&M at night, and then I can get every single mentally ill person in the world to be med compliant and take their M&M in the morning and their M&M at night, that doctor just cured mental illness, right? All of those people are med compliant. Hero. It sounds ridiculous, right? Yet that's what we have. That whole term of being med compliant lacks some key words. You have to be med compliant on the correct medications. And the correct medications are difficult to find. For example, I'm on 7 medications. Yeah, do it quick. I'm on 7 medications. Now, they can't prescribe all 7 medications at the same time, because if I was to have a side effect or something wasn't working or it wasn't going well, which medication would the doctor adjust? I'm on 7. So the doctor has to prescribe them 1 at a time. Maybe 2 at a time, but 1 at a time. And it takes 6 to 8 weeks for each medication to reach efficacy levels, right? Let's go with 6. What's 6 times 7? 42. So in the light most favorable to me, if the doctor gets every single medication right, and I show up at exactly the 6-week mark, and I have no side effects, this doctor is the most amazing doctor known to man. That's how good they are. 42 weeks. That's almost a year. Everybody thinks that this medication thing is like magical. Like a doctor prescribes it, you take it, boom, you're well. It's just such incredible nonsense what people believe my life is like. They're like, go to the doctor, take your meds, and get out of my hair. It doesn't work this way. And we're not making allowances for it because we're too busy blaming the sick people. It's their fault. I completely agree that people with mental illness, we have a revolving door problem. The police get called, we get pink slipped, we end up back out on the streets. A few weeks later, you're back at our door. That is a huge problem. And I would love to have an open and honest conversation with somebody in charge to fix it. But all they keep saying is, that guy won't get his shit together and he's bothering all of you. And everybody's like, yeah, we're sick of dealing with him. This isn't a solution to the problem. Why are we blaming sick people? That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But it's what we do, and it's an incredible burden on people like me, because I'm trying. I tried so hard. I did everything that I could. I was perfect on my medications. 4 years. Luckily, my family didn't give up on me, and luckily, a lot of my symptoms did not lead me to law enforcement interaction, so I didn't end up, with an even bigger problem. But we've got to get away from this thinking that all success is on the medical community and all failure rests on the patient. Because after all, how are you going to respect me if you think that I'm to blame for my own illness? I mean, for real. It's my fault. You don't have to respect me. But if it's not my fault, I might be a person. And people, they deserve help. All people deserve help. It's a twist in thinking, and I hope that we get there someday. Did I answer the question?